Radva, who is actually the chief architect of Futura. Futura Group is the biggest real estate developer in the CE region. That means they have a lot of different developments here in Hungary, but also outside, for example, in Poland. He's responsible for coordination of the design and urban developments of the whole company group, and he's one of the founders and vice president of the Hungary Green Building Council. Please, Gabor, let's welcome him.
Well, good morning. Warm welcome here in Budapest, everyone. To be honest, yesterday evening, as I was fine-tuning my presentation, or the Hungarian Green Building Council's presentation, I got more and more frustrated. I brought you a lot of numbers. That's the beginning of the story. You're probably aware of all these prospects what the United Nations did for us, and you know that how cities will eat our globe in the forthcoming few decades. And you see 2050, where two-thirds of the globe will be cities. Well, there is another point, the population point of view, and there's another prospect. I'm sure you know these numbers, and there are some really frightening rows and columns. For example, this one, how it doubles between the different years. Or let's focus on 2050, where we will have around 10 billion people on this planet. And as I was talking about how the urban ratio rises, we should be aware that at that time we will have more than 6 billion people living in cities. But if you focus on 2030, which is not that far, so for sure we will live at that time on this planet. Look at these figures, and let's see what will happen at that time. If you compare 2012, there's a research from the UN with 2013, we know that the world will need at least 50% more food, 45% more energy, and 30% more water. So this is true, and not least for climate change, which affects all aspects of human and planetary health. Well, I'm sure you all know these consumption figures as well, and we know that there are a lot of efforts how we can fight against climate change and what will happen, for example, in New York, and there's an option from BIGS, how can we deal with that. Let's see what happened in 2015. You know, countries adopted a set of goals to end poverty and protect the planet, ensure prosperity for all as part of a new sustainable development agenda. Each goal has specific targets to be achieved, and we have these 17 goals. And there are several goals to which we believe green buildings can, and in fact already have been contributing to in a significant way. For example, let's focus on goal number 3, good health and well-being. Ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Or there is the next one, goal 7, which is affordable and clean energy. And we have to ensure access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable and modern energy for all. Or there is goal 8, for example, decent work and economic growth. Goal 9, where we know that we have to build resilient infrastructure, promote sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Or goal 12, for example, to ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. And we can go on, and I'm sure you're all aware of these things. the question how we understand what we have to do and how we can tell the decision makers, the stakeholders, what is their role. So there was this business case from the World Green Building Council, and it's all about, and I know it in my company, how I push the managers to do something different as we did in the past. So we always come up with the Rule 90, as you know, and we have to understand all the players in the field. And there is a perception gap which we always have to jump through about the costs. And these are really important things to show them. And how we can convince them is again numbers, how the outside view or the daylight or the mechanical systems have an effect on the people. And when we say on the people, it's their workers. I mean, we have to convince the company owners that the biggest value they have is their people, and that's why they have to focus on people and build green buildings, like in Milan. Or this is not only green while it looks green, because this can also be green. This is in the Netherlands. This is the Deloitte headquarters in Amsterdam, which is the most sustainable office building on the world with such interiors. With the World Green Building Council, we had really interesting campaigns, and it was all about people in the past few years, that we have to create better places for our people in the buildings, because again, another aspect of the Rule 90, that we spend around 90% of our time indoors. So we have really good tools. We have such rating tools as BREEAM or LEED, and we have this holistic approach how we should watch, design, and rethink our buildings. And I think it covers all the fields how we focus on the buildings. And there is a new thing, the WELL, which has 7 criteria, let's say, and it's again more and more getting closer and closer to the people. I should say that I'm really proud that my company just have 3 platinum pre-certification with 3 of our projects, because we do believe that this is the way how we can really be successful as developers. Well, I'm also proud because Hungary is very good, not only in the Central Eastern region, but worldwide. Are the certified buildings, and Hungary is in the top 3. So I think we are better and better. And what I realize in the office market, for example, here in Budapest, that today there is no new office building without certification, because the market doesn't let us do it without. And yes, the numbers are increasing, and yes, we have really nice examples. Well, a few meters from here, there are some Skanska developments, or again, just at the metro station at the corner, there is a new HB Reavis project, the Agora project. And also in this district, we have also public buildings like a kindergarten, which is really green. I work in a new city center in South Buda with my colleagues, but there are also nice and interesting green examples in the countryside at Szeged, for example. So my presentation would end somewhere over here. And then I looked at it, and it sounded like a Walt Disney story, like a fairy tale, but honestly it's not. It's much darker. And as you know, the Disney story, it changes a bit these days, and the Death Star is just here. So why we are here, that we should somehow do together a lot of things to get rid of this possible future that our planet will would look like this, or we have to move to the Mars, for example. So I think we are here to restore this planet, and thank you for coming.